9:34 a.m., August 20th, 2024. Just woke up about 9:10 a.m. in the yard here on the driveway, half mile north of Fairbank, Iowa on V68. I've been here since sundown last night. There's wildfire smoke in the air in Iowa again, wherever that's drifting in from, Canada or Colorado or California. It comes here because of prevailing winds, and it's supposed to be here for the next day or so. I was at my parents' red white barn home before I got home last night at sunset or right after. I was talking to my mom there with my white van, and I was obviously in my white van here, half mile north of Fairbank, Iowa. I've hardly been in the mobile home here since I got the van August 9th, and I wasn't in it before that for a few days, I think. I was sleeping in my Prius for at least a couple days before that, before the 9th. So I have not been in the mobile home hardly at all. This is the 20th. Probably for 2 weeks. I would hardly step foot in the mobile home other than to get a couple tools out of there. I haven't sold any tools. It was indicated I sold power tools. It'd be criminal stealing. Nobody sold any power tools to me. It would be stealing or claiming that, my stuff was theirs again as they break into my home. I've had no association with any Spanish-speaking person since 2004, 2005. There's cam models that are Spanish-speaking and Russian-speaking and American-speaking and Romanian-speaking and all different languages of cam models, but I do not log in there and I don't talk to them outside of their free chat. So I don't really have any connection to them other than going and visiting them in their free chat because I don't log in since 2020. As indicated, I had a connection to a Spanish-speaking person again. It only became models in the free chat. One of them that I started establishing a connection to quit, and I think some guy from California tricked her into thinking he was me because my VPN was showing California for a while. Same thing happened with Sunshine Eve and Ella Claire on Flirt for Free in 2020 and 2021. So I don't have any connection to anybody. I've had no date, romance, relationship in 9 years, no friendship since 2016, no sexual or physical contact in 6+ years. No family connections other than my parents in the last, since 2017. I saw my brother Ryan in my father's shed yesterday when I fixed my front stabilizer bar in the van after it was sabotaged by the criminals because they couldn't break into my van the other day. Yesterday I was fixing it in there. I was supposed to do it a couple nights before and I just didn't get in there. So there was indications of my brother took my father's Dodge Ram that yesterday. So if someone took my father's Dodge Ram 2 nights ago, I was supposed to back it out of the shed that night and use the shed to fix my van, but I didn't do it until yesterday. So if someone took my father's white Dodge van 2 days ago, it wasn't me. I didn't go into my father's shed that night that I told my parents I was going to. I didn't get the motivation to do it, so I did it yesterday. And my brother stuck his head in the door, and he had his silver Dodge Ram there and said he was taking Dad's white Dodge Ram. For whatever reason, he had to trade vehicles. I don't know, because he has a silver Dodge Ram. My dad has a white Dodge Ram. I don't know why he took my father's, but he had a backpack at the time. I don't trust my brother anymore for it, so I didn't even acknowledge him. When he said something to me, I just shrugged my shoulders and he went on his way. So if he's trying to claim, we talked or anything, we didn't. My father had a rifle sitting on the gator in front of me where I parked. So if anything was staged with a rifle, I didn't touch it. It was kind of odd that my dad left out his rifle. He doesn't often do that. So just noting that because it was in an obvious place where I would see it, and I put safety glasses on the gator where it was sitting, and I used Dad's work light. It's a rechargeable work light, which was sitting on the gator as well. So it was right next to that rifle, but it was unavoidable that I would see the rifle anyway. So I'm just noting that it was in there. I didn't do anything with it. And it's odd that my dad had it out because normally he doesn't. Maybe twice I've seen him leave the rifle out in the shed somehow. But my parents were gone yesterday when I was working on the van. I was only in there about an hour and a half probably, and my brother came over about 1:20, and I was out and gone from the property before 3. So just noting all that stuff because, no one else in the world has had to notate their life like I have because of all the staged lies and surveillance. All this surveillance, and they still can't get it right 95% of the time. That's got to be intentional from the people that are, doing the checking on the surveillance. Have to be biased against me in order for that to happen. So I suffered for 10 years because of it. I've done nothing wrong. There's no reason for me to be in, quote, jail for anything. I'm 100% innocent, and those who have staged lies to make me, quote, guilty of something should go to prison, all of them. Because I've never had drugs. I've not gotten in any accidents, as was indicated, since 2001. I've had no interactions with people. I've never trafficked anyone. I've never been into drugs in any way whatsoever. This place, obviously, I've complained over and over and over again for 10 years. People are breaking in here, claiming my stuff is theirs, getting into my vehicles, and every one of them is trespassing and breaking and entering. So they are the guilty parties, not me. I haven't done anything wrong. And, how easy is it for them to put something on the property when they're breaking and entering for 10 years? And they've gotten into my vehicles and home over 20 times in the last 2+ months to steal valuable stones and meteorites. Over 20 times to steal. And I reconsolidated all my meteorites and stones. And then after I got the van, I thought I had them locked out of the van, and they pulled the secondary doors open in the back because they could stretch the wire long enough, because I had it locked and wired shut from the inside. And they still unlocked the door and pulled the doors open. That's how good these people are at ripping people off and thieving and burglarizing. But then they went through all of my reconsolidated stones and stole as many as they could pack in their bags. So, it's very disheartening and depressing that I spent, over a month out in the fields gathering, identifying valuable stones and meteorites, and these undeserving rip-off artists, cowardly criminals that are younger, probably in their 20s and 30s, are stealing from me when I'm 52 years old. And this is a way for me to get off SSI, PTSD, and prepay my mother. Now I owe her $2,000 for this vehicle so I could go down and sell the meteorites and valuable stones. And now I don't know what value left. They've stolen at least 80% of the value of the stones that I had. It's very depressing at times that have to deal with this. And people say I'm stupid. I can't keep them out. I cannot, no matter what I do, I cannot keep these little thieving bastards out of my home and vehicles. Their little fucking slimy thieving hands, they're talented at breaking into places. That's all they're fucking talented at. They're not creating anything for the world. They're just thieves. They're just little thieves. And they exacerbate my PTSD greatly. Obviously, people breaking into my home are going to cause me to have PTSD and swear more and sound like I'm threatening people more when I'm not. I'm just reacting to what's on YouTube or X.com. But, the exact thing people think badly for me for is what's created by these people breaking in 20 plus times in 2.5 months. Nobody can feel safe like that. And that's what causes the PTSD, especially that when I know people have been in my home and vehicles while I'm asleep. Nobody should ever have been in my home or vehicle since 2016. I had two guests. Since that time, not a single person should have been on this property or in my vehicles or in my home other than my parents. Because I haven't even tried to sell anything on eBay or Craigslist. I never really sold anything on eBay since the 2000s, and that was not a lot of stuff. But Craigslist since about 2016, and very, very little since 2014. So if they're depicting me, selling things, and that's why they're in the property, they're misportraying that too, so they can get on the property and have some excuse while I'm gone or sleep or otherwise not aware that they're on the property. So nobody should have been on the property at all since 2016 other than my parents who farm it, who are 83 and 82 years old. Absolutely nobody else had permission or my approval to be on the property. And I haven't brought anybody on the property, including me never abducting anyone, never tying anyone up, never imprisoning anyone has been portrayed before. I'm not interested in doing that to anyone. I want to meet an adult female I'm attracted to. That's it. I haven't had a relationship for 9 years because of these jackasses staging lies and breaking into my home and stealing my life. I cannot date anyone in the current state I'm in. I have to have a stable income where I have money to date someone. I have to be able to get my teeth fixed. I have 2 gaps in my teeth from the temporary or the teeth that I had braces in high school, which created 2 gaps in my front teeth, not my very front teeth, but the one on the side of it. Then I had to have fake teeth put in there, and those bridges that held those in broke years ago now, and I haven't had the money to fix them and have money for everything else that I need money for. So, selling these stones and meteorites, I would have been able to pay for that too. But again, I don't know how much value I have left after these little shitheads have been breaking into my home and stealing the valuable stones and meteorites for the last 2 months, 20 plus times, while greatly exacerbates my PTSD, which affects my daily life. These people think they can leave me alone for 1 day or 2 days and I'm like going to be back to normal. My PTSD is through the roof because of these jackasses breaking into my home and vehicles for 20 times in the last 2 months. They think that's not going to have an effect on me. You have to take that into account. If you're going to expect me to do something, you're going to have to give me months to recover from that. Go to find out what PTSD is. If you don't understand that, go read about PTSD for a month, and then you can give me those months to recover from 20 times people breaking into my home and vehicles while I'm asleep. Because that's what triggers my PTSD in the first place. People breaking in, stealing my life, staging lies. Those are primarily what it is. And then you have the sonic attacks, which I had to deal with in the spring, which caused Havana syndrome, which I still now owe Arizona State money for classes I couldn't complete because I had Havana syndrome while they were hitting me with sonic attacks all April, May, into June. Was it March, April, May, I think, was late March, April, and May is when they're hitting me with sonic attacks. And at those times when I have that Havana syndrome type reaction to the sonic attacks, I do have slight memory problems of, functionality at the time. I wouldn't forget if something major happened or if, I don't forget crimes. So it's, people tried to say, well, he's having memory problems. He just forgot what he did. No, I don't forget stuff that's happens. That's a major thing in my life. Never have. Even when they hit me with sonic attacks 30 days in a row, a couple times, 20 to 30 days in a row. One time over 30 days in a row. It was like 40 days. And one was like 20 some plus days. It's depressing to talk about that too, because it's put me in such a hole in my life. I can't, it's difficult to get out. But you gotta, if these people think that they're giving me time to recover for a day or two or a week, it takes a lot longer than that when you have PTSD. You have to give the person months to recover without doing anything to them, without hitting them with sonic attacks, without breaking into their home. And that hasn't happened for 10 years. I've not had that break for a month for 10 years. I've had solid PTSD for 8 years and severe PTSD recently. So this is going to be for, again, youtube.com/@IAM WADEHEINEMAN only, audio only. Again, everything about my life on my social media, X and YouTube, are about truth. There's no art involved. So don't confuse my posts on x.com/WADES2ND with art. That's not art. I might take some art classes if I can get ASU to refund the class charges from spring, because I have a covered doctor's excuse for it. But I have not heard back from ASU yet. They haven't even responded to my request for the covered medical request. So until then, I'm not going to be taking any courses. I'm registered for some right now, but I'm going to have to drop them all if they can't drop the charges and refund the enrollment for spring. Wade Allen Heineman, green eyes, not blue, 10.7-inch hands, 6'1", not 5'10", 6'1", 73 inches tall. I'm not getting my height wrong. Male heterosexual. I had penis and testicles since I was born. They still have them, 8 to 9 inches erect. Two male testicles, still have them. I don't have any female parts whatsoever. Whatever has been portrayed, it's very, very abusive to walk around in public and have people portraying and thinking that I'm female or LGBTQIA when I'm not. That's the most abusive thing you can do to someone psychologically. I have not done anything to anyone abusively psychologically. I don't have any connection to anyone. When I hear me yelling and it's being portrayed I'm yelling at someone, they're using surveillance to portray that I have some connection to them. I never had. I'm not bullying anyone. I'm reacting to something that's been indicated that somebody said or did to me, or staged a lie. I'm not talking to anyone. I'm not bullying anyone. Whoever's claiming I'm bullying them, they've been breaking into my home and pretending I had a connection to them. I never had. I don't know who they are. Whoever is claiming I'm bullying them is using surveillance of me when I have PTSD, inventing my anger to pretend that I had a connection to them. And they need to go to prison and cry their little eyes out because it's been indicated it's like a teenager or something. Get them in juvenile detention for a while and straighten their asses out, because I never had any connection to them. I don't bully people. I was never a bully in high school. I never bullied anyone in high school. In fact, I protected people that were being bullied at times from people in my own class. So do not say that I'm a bully. I've never been. I have PTSD and defending myself. That is the position I'm in. Whoever these jackasses claiming I'm bullying them are using the surveillance of me abusively when I have PTSD to pretend that I ever had a connection to them in the first place. Get them in juvie, get them in prison so they can cry their eyes out and get reformed. I've never had a connection to them. Never been in the military, never been married, no sexual contact for 6+ years, no sexual or physical contact. I'm not interested in children. I am not interested in males. I am not interested in transgender. I am only interested in sexually mature females, and I've only ever been with adult natural females sexually. And that's all I ever will want to be with. I will never want to be female in any way. Whatever's been portrayed in the past, that is the criminals staging lies. I do not want to be female. I've never worn women's clothing or makeup. Anything that is getting on my face is coming from the atmosphere and collecting on my face. It's like a, powdery, sticky stuff that sticks to my face. And since I don't have a shower, I don't notice it's on there at times. Like with this wildfire stuff, there'll probably be something that collects on my face more so than normal from the atmosphere. But I don't have a shower. I would love to have a shower 2 days a week, or 2 days, two times a day for 3 minutes. I was talking to my mom yesterday. She's like, you got clean already? Because I took a shower in 3 minutes. And I'm like, I never spend more than 3 to 5 minutes in the shower, because I get the soap on. I rub the soap on the areas all over my body. I rinse it off. I shampoo, or I wash my hair with soap, and I'm done. There's nothing else I need to do in the shower. It doesn't, I don't see why people have to spend that much time in the shower, but I don't care. I don't care what they do in the shower. I spend 3 to 5 minutes in the shower. I'll shower. I love to shower twice a day, once in the morning, once at night. That's, if I had a shower, that's what I'd do. 3 to 5 minutes in the morning, 3 to 5 minutes at night, or after I work out and at night or whatever. But I haven't worked out for years, but I haven't been to a gym since 2016. But I do not seek out children. I've never communicated with the child or online, or tried to meet a child. I've never had sex with a child. Whatever those lies are, they're being staged digitally to make it look like I'm a bad person. And how many different ways have they tried to make me look like a bad person? Add them all up, and does it even look likely that a person could do all those things? Or is it more likely that none of them are true, which is the truth? None of them are true. Signing off, Wade Heineman, August 20th, 2024, half-mile North of Fairbank, Iowa, on V68, my white van towing a tow dolly, and the white van has a huge ladder rack on it. It's part of the van. I bought it that way, August 9th. It's not coming off the van.